Okay, we are live. Should I use the music? Should I not use the music? Damn it, I'm using it. Alrighty, everybody. Bobby Roast Beef here from Jigs and Bigs. We got a little something to talk about. It's been a few weeks now that we've been getting feedback from listeners and followers on our social media about our merch store being kind of down for the count, at least at the time being. So we've been trying to work around it, kind of deal a little bit, figure out how we're gonna overcome everything, and I think we've got ourselves a little bit of a plan. We got something lined up for you that I think you're all really going to enjoy. So what are we going to talk about here? We're going to talk about, first off, what happened to the merch store. Secondly, we'll be talking about what we're doing to kind of work around it and get back on it. And then some of the things that are coming up that I think you guys will really enjoy. So first and foremost, let's go with the big announcement. Get that right up there. Just so you guys know, we have launched a brand new merch store on jigsandbigs.com. We're calling that the Essentials merch store, and it's live. You can go jigsandbigs.com. There's a little tab up there that says shop, or just go jigsandbigs.com/shop. You can get all of your Jigs and Bigs logo branded items right there. And that stuff's going to be available all the time. We've got t-shirts, we've got hoodies, we've got women's t-shirts, we've got a variety of different hats. And we're even launching as a new item in there is a Jigs and Bigs accessory pouch. So this is if you want to keep loose items while you're fishing, pop one of these in your tackle bag or something. This is a good item for you guys to use. Just one of those last minute additions we thought we'd kind of keep sort of interesting right there. We got two new hats too that are available. We've got a trucker hat that's like a weathered style look, and a beanie as well. So you guys go ahead and check that out over at jigsandbigs.com, the shop tab, and you can order yourself that logo merch there. So that basically is the big news right there. So what happened? What happened with our store? Why did it just kind of disappear? Well, that was kind of interesting, and we were sort of in the dark about it until yesterday. Basically, what had happened was we had made an arrangement with a local business to handle our because we're not an apparel company, we're a podcast. Maybe you've heard. So we're not looking to carry a bunch of stock or anything, and we made this agreement with this local company that we would basically drive the orders through them. They could produce the products and then handle the shipping for us. This seemed like it was not going to be any type of an issue whatsoever, and that was great. But apparently it became an issue because the orders were relatively sporadic. They would have to go through a bunch of different processes to get these items out in a certain amount of time. And within the last few months, we had gotten some word from listeners that orders were placed and they weren't showing up. It would be 3 weeks down the road. Finally, somebody would receive their order. So we understand how that could be really, really frustrating to some of you guys. Totally. We get that. We understand that. Basically what was happening was they were allowing a bunch of different jobs to collect together so they could batch them and then send them all out. They basically do that in a 2-week period. Well, that was exactly what we were trying to get away from the very first company we had worked at. So unfortunately, they made the decision to take the store down. And they did not tell us about that. In fact, when we had looked into it, what we were told was that there was personnel changes regarding the website of the business, and that's as far as it went. So we had, kind of made the assumption that things were going to be changing, and we would be back in it at some point, one point or another, sooner, hopefully, rather than later. An email then followed up saying that stickers were left over and that we could come pick them up anytime. That's when I jumped in and I followed in by saying, our stickers, we would still like to be selling our merch through you. We thought this was just a maintenance issue. Come to find out that no, basically they were pulling the plug on the program, and unless they could institute minimums. And unfortunately, the minimums that they wanted were far too high for what we would be able to reasonably turn over. So sadly, we had to part ways with that company, which is unfortunate. Which left us in a little bit of a dilemma. There was a primary reason why we chose this company versus just going with another, direct to print or drop shipped type merch. organization or brand. And that's primarily because what we wanted to sell was performance items. We wanted to sell those fishing shirts, the poly spandex, UPF coated, the protective hoodies and things like that. And we knew that there was a demand for this stuff, and that while you guys are out there, if you listen to the show and you like the show and you want to represent that brand, you're going to do it while you're fishing. You might as well protect your skin and keep the sun off of you while you're out there as much as you possibly can. So it makes sense. So that was a good sort of marriage. Now, this sort of left us in a unique situation where, we had these really great products available, and now all of a sudden we don't. So what we did was we kind of compromised a little bit. And this will be sort of interesting because it's going to put Sean and myself a little bit more in a position where we have to follow through on some of our merchandise ideas. And this is what it's all about. So, like I said earlier, the Jigs and Bigs shop is open. What we're calling that is the Essential Store. That's the Essentials merch store. That's where you can get all of your stuff with the Jigs and Bigs logo right up over here. You can get all that, your t-shirts. We've got men and women's t-shirts. We've got hoodies. We've got a multitude of hats and that brand new accessories patch as well. You can go ahead and get that stuff anytime, and they'll be shipped right out to you. No problem. That store will be open constantly. But what we're going to start doing is sort of like what's been popular in the space now, and that's merchandise drops. So we're going to try and program this seasonally. We're looking at starting. We realize that it's kind of a tall order to make this happen for a spring launch, but we're looking more at a big summer launch. And that's the plan. We're going to focus on items that will be ideal for the summer season, unique designs, and we're going to create a Jigs and Bigs design archive. We're going to take and release some things sometimes, and maybe you'll see them again and maybe you won't. Who knows? We'll do these drops. They will basically be a pre-order system where you go ahead and order the items that you want. We'll send them out to you, and we'll have a specific time of 4 to maybe 6 weeks that we'll be taking orders. After that window closes, we'll put the design in the archive, we'll ship out all those products, and then everybody will have their stuff. That is where you're going to find a handful of things. First and foremost, you'll find your performance gear listed in those drops. Kind of makes it a little bit convenient where, when summer's coming, you have this big promotion that we'll be able to push to remind you to get your protective gear so that when you're out there, you're not, frying in the sun, absorbing all those UV rays. It also allows you guys to get some different designs. Sean and myself often in the show will go on and on and on about t-shirt ideas, and oftentimes they kind of just get forgotten about. Well, now what we'll have is a date coming in mind where when we have an idea, now we've got something to shoot for, some type of a launch. So we're hoping to diversify some of the designs and put some really unique stuff out there, and it's going to be specialty stuff because this will be coming from a variety of different companies all over the country. So this will be very exciting for any of our listeners who are interested in getting their merch. And again, I want to apologize for the snafu with our previous merch store. But again, you guys can get out onto jigsandbigs.com/shop and order your essentials line of Jigs and Bigs merchandise if you've been looking for something. And if you have a request for a color or something like that, let us know. Fire us a DM, and we'll make something happen. We'll try to help you guys out as much as we can. We realize we have a small but a very tight-knit community, and we appreciate you guys more than you realize. My phone is starting to blow up right now. I should probably answer some of these, and we're gonna go ahead and figure this all out. So, just before I wrap things up, guys, I want to say thank you. I appreciate you. Sean appreciates you, and we hope to see you guys if you're going up to the expo this weekend. Be safe. I will be there on Sunday. Sean will be there both Friday and Saturday, and it's gonna be a great time. We will see you guys next time. Thanks so much. And we'll see you with a really great episode next week.